Hi Aries, this is Just with your May 10th to the 31st, 2018 love reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So Aries. The first group I do see now, this will be, I'm going to speak about it as far as men versus women. It can be the other way around. So you've got to keep that in mind. Okay. It could be you, it could be them, but I'm going to interpret it as male versus woman, a woman's energy. I do see the situation you'll be dealing with, some of you in the month of May, is that you may be going back to a situation that you once felt was happy, that this situation was going to lead to marriage and a forever kind of love, children, family, the whole bit. And going back with to the situation now will create some form of a burden on you or both of you. Okay. I feel like there's been some lies, there's been some dishonesty about commitment. Okay. Someone thought, again, it was some form of marriage that was going to take place, or again, a forever type of a love. And now they've realized that that's changed. Okay. So the reality has come to them pretty quick and very clear. And now what used to be this loving, ethereal type of thing is now tainted with a situation where you feel kind of heavy and bound by someone. There's some unfinished business that needs to take place, okay? And the business that needs to be taking place now that this stain is now permanent on the reality of this relationship leaves some of you feeling very burdened and heavy by the situation, okay? But you still have to settle some things with someone nevertheless. It could be marriage, okay? That you're going through a divorce. Now you're dealing with assets and alimony and child support for some of you. Now, the male aspect here, I do see that you're confused, Aries men, or the male in the lives of Aries women. He's confused. You're trying to figure out, what do you do with your financial aspect here? How much money you're going to have to pay out? You may be going to counsel to try to decide, what does this look like for me? How much money am I going to have to pay out? I do see that if this is a situation with the Aries woman, this could have something to do with some infidelity where there were two different women. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that it has anything to do with actual marriage or divorce, but this has to do with three people being involved. One person that was in that relationship thought they were going to get married to you or the other person, or you felt that way. It didn't happen that way. And now that you guys are going through this divorce, I feel like the Aries woman or the female here, whether it's the Aries or another female, they're going to come out on top, okay, with this situation. There will be some sort. So if you're an Aries woman, you will feel as though, okay, I'm going to get my just due. Some of you may already be dealing with the judgment. And if you have, leave it in the comment section below and let me know that, this resonates with you. And I feel like there may be some coming together, trying to amicably solve the problem. So before you go all the way to the court systems, some of you may go to a mediator and try to mediate the situation. That I feel would be more desirable for the male Aries. You guys may want to try to look and see if you can mediate a situation, because the female energy will be open to mediation. Okay. And you may find that you can save money and save a lot on the back end by going behind closed doors before you go to the actual courts. Why I say that? Because you guys, although the situation has stained your quote unquote perfect relationship or whatever appeared to be really good, you guys are both kind of, I think, ready to kind of release each other from that heavy toxic energy. And so this would be a good time to try to, again, do it amicably and try to release it. Because if you were going through some issues with the female were giving you issues, I feel like you guys, again, could come back together and work things out. And when I say that, as far as dispersing of your assets, alimony, child support, that sort of thing. You'll find in the last week of May that you're very pleased with the outcome. I feel both of you will be pleased with the outcome. Again, the objective here is to think about the children, if there's children, and also to make sure that you can kind of have a clean break as best as possible. Now, others of you, there seems to have been the wheels falling off because the male energy here has got himself in a pickle. He had a lot of options, and there seems to have been two women. Okay, one woman he could not commit to this woman, and there was a lot of going back, and then it's heavy when he goes back in this relationship. Not being honest that he doesn't want the relationship, he doesn't want to get married, he doesn't want to commit. And it's not to say that he didn't want these things. What he didn't say is that I don't want it with you. And it's starting to become very obvious for that woman that now sees, well, you do want commitment. And well, you probably do want a family and to get married and have children, but you didn't want it with me. You didn't want it with me. And so now someone is left, and you may have dealt with this male energy, maybe dealing with a woman that was his age and then started dealing with someone younger than him, or was dealing with someone younger than him, started dealing with someone his age or older than him. Okay. So there's an age difference between these two women. Now, the one that's left out in the cold, she's going to be struggling mentally. She's going to be struggling. She's not going to be in a good place because, again, she wasn't aware. She was lied to. She was led on, and now she's tethered and tied. Okay. And it's like the Aries person is going to move on to a new relationship. Okay, with another person. And that is going to kind of proceed really quickly. Like, this will be the person that you feel like, yeah, everything is going fine with me and this person. We both, really have a strong connection with one another, and it's like mutual, right? And this other woman will become aware of it. Somehow she'll know that, oh, so you guys are, you fell in love with this woman, or you're going to go on with this relationship. And she'll be kind of, like I said, stuck for a little while. Okay. I feel like some of you guys will just continue to live your life in that respect. If there was a threesome situation that's coming to an end, one person is going to be chosen over the other person. The other person that's left out in the cold will be a little while before they can kind of, balance themselves again. Okay. Because again, there was lies and deceit about a commitment of some sort. Now, for those of you who are single, I feel like you've gotten out of a situation. You kind of could have felt a little beat up. Males, Aries men, you're still confused emotionally. So if you're out there socializing, I feel like you're more interested in building your wealth and building your capital than you are getting emotionally involved, because your emotions, again, are very confused, and you're not jaded. You're not completely jaded. But you're just being very logical and practical of saying that I'm going to focus on my finances because I don't disappoint myself. Love is a little disappointing at this time. I've kind of ran through the ringer. And it could have been your own fault. Who knows? Because again, this has to do with being dishonest as far as a relationship to some extent is concerned. So I feel like Aries men, you can kind of get back to the things that you were focused on anyway, which is your business, your brand, and your capital. Aries women, I do see that you are releasing yourself from the shackles of a very heavy and toxic relationship, overcoming that feeling stifled and controlled. And I feel like you guys are really healing. So this month is an amazing month for Aries women. I feel like you guys will possibly come out of that storm of feeling stuck, feeling hurt, feeling tattered and torn, and you will be meeting someone. Some of you are going to be meeting someone that's going to come out of nowhere. It seems like they'll be coming out of nowhere, but either it'll be that you're socializing, you're out there, you have a lot of options, and someone is going to just make themselves known really quickly and really permanently in your life. And it literally will feel like night and day. Like one day you were crying and you were stressed out and which direction you were going to go. And then literally you meet this guy and it's like, now the sun is out, your world is bright, it's spring again, and all things are good with the world. And I feel like by the second week of May, you will be ready to move on because you're really satisfied with this person. Those of you who are thinking about going back to a relationship, you're going to feel very heavy in this relationship. There may be more than one person in your relationship. I feel like, again, there will be this, well, that's over. They're not with the person anymore. There's still a challenge about some truths and some honesties that needs to be spoken. There needs to still be a discussion about where do you go? Are you guys really in a relationship? Did this person really want the relationship? Because I do see very seriously that going back to something will be a bit of a heavy load to bear, a heavy burden to bear. Now that could just speak to the fact that there's some unfinished workings as far as the energy is still around you guys. Whatever this situation that put you in a bad place was, it's still lingering. It's still there. Okay. I feel like you can get out of it. You guys can reclaim a love together. I do see very clearly, however, that whatever this threesome situation was, there will be one out. And there will be a very distinctive two left. Okay. So someone's leaving and someone will be coming, and it will just be the two of you. All right. And it'll be a process. I'm just looking to see more. And go back to the general rules if you can and listen to what I said about the general rules, because this thing, if you're going back to someone, it's a process. It's not something that you'll see in overnight. Even though Aries, you guys work really quickly, and you guys may be acting as though, well, everything is right, we're back together again. I think you'll know deep down inside that you're not back together. It's not in its wholeness, okay? And there's still some unsettled things. Although it may feel like everything is okay, you've got to check in and make sure you're being honest with yourself, that this is a person that you truly want to commit to, and be very clear that this person is echoing the same sentiments. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that this has been helpful as far as your love is concerned for the remainder of May. If you would like to share with us how this has been helpful, please do so in the comment section below. You know, we love to hear from you. And if you would like a personal with me, I can be reached in the beginning and into this video, as well as the description box below. And if you are new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Aries. Hi, Taurus. This is Just with your May 10th to the 31st, 2018 love reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So, Taurus, for some of you, if you're in a marriage, for some of you, this is not everyone, and for some of you, your marriage is completely fine, and this will not resonate for you. But for others of you in a marriage, a marriage has turned completely toxic. Some of you are at a tail end. It's at a point where you're no longer bound by one another. You know, you're not in it because either of you have to be in it. So now, if you're in a marriage that is challenging, it has been very toxic, has been very draining, has felt very limiting or limited, and there's been some form of control to some extent, that's dissipating, if not all over. But you know, you guys are getting a handle on it, both of you. I do see that the problem with this particular marriage is that both parties are talking, but no one's listening to the other person. I mean, this is like everyone's standing their ground, and one is being more combative as far as communication than the other. Okay. And I feel like the person who's had the control, and I want to say it's the Taurus, but I get the feminine energy being far more prevalent than male energy. And the female energy is far more poised, more controlled, more manipulating psychologically than the male energy here. Okay. And for this marriage, there could even be talks of someone moving, counsel being sought after to conclude this marriage and get a divorce. It looks like in the past, someone has been making swift plans. Like they've really been working really hard to exit, to leave, okay, to go back to a time when things were better for them, okay. A person wanted to leave, but then they stayed. Also, so someone could have wanted to leave, been making plans to leave, but they're still there. They've not left yet. And I feel like there could be some arguments, like I said, in this marriage, some harsh words being spoken, but everything that the two of you are saying is honest. You're honestly saying how you truly feel about one another or a circumstance. Okay. I do feel like the male energy has shut down. He's on guard and he has his swords up. He may feel as though he has to be this way to get some form of respect, you know, because again, he may feel like in any other way. I get the feminine energy here is very, very strong. Like, this woman can morph into anything that she chooses to. And so it's very difficult for him to kind of get a grasp on her, because how can you get a grasp of something that's ever changing? So Taurus women, you guys have perfected this relationship to some extent. And I feel that even though you may see that there's some cracks in the foundation, and this person is, riling and going crazy again, you're keeping your confidence and you're staying very poised and grounded, because you know the outcome. You know how you feel about the situation, right? And I do see that you may have decided to make amends and say sorry to this person. And right now, and say sorry to the male energy. And right now, the male energy is not open to it, okay, or has not been open to it. They would prefer to work. They would prefer to focus on other things than your cup that you're offering, okay? Your apology. Hey, would you like something to eat? Can I draw you a bath? Whatever it is that you're bringing up, you may have said, okay, this isn't working, let me try this. And you've tried, but the person has not softened, okay? And I do feel like there is a true, serious planning to move on. Like, this male energy is planning to move on. And at this time, you're looking forward in your life as well. Okay. If your mate lives away from home, they may be planning to move back home. They may be planning to move back to a place that is most familiar to them. Okay. This person has big plans and they've been keeping it a secret, and they're planning to move back somewhere, or go back someplace is what it looks like to me. And you guys are looking ahead. You're looking forward. Okay. And I feel like you're looking forward. I don't know how much of a forward movement you're doing, but I do feel like even though there's the Queen of Wands here, I just don't get that you guys are actively pursuing the forward things that you have in your mind. Right. But you're very clear about where you want to go and what you want to do, or you're very clear about who you are and what you want. And you're communicating it very clearly. As far as action is concerned, I don't see the Taurus women taking much action. Now, in this particular relationship, I do see that in this last week of May, you're going to feel completely full and completely secure. Okay, Taurus women. And I do feel like for all of this hoopla that's going on in the household, the male energy will come back and probably extend some form of, offer some form of an olive branch to you, okay? And it may be just a simple gesture. Would you like to go here, or can I get this for you? Something like that, just like an offer to try to show that, hey, we can make amends here, okay? Now, so if you are interested in working on this relationship, you have to learn to communicate, and each person has to take what they feel to be very true, okay, to be very real. I think that if you're interested, Taurus women, if you could care less about your relationship and you really could care less if this person stays or leaves, then you've made amends. But if you feel as though, well, here we go again, this is just another sad love song, and here we'll be back together, or he'll be coming back around again because I know all the signs, what you kind of are not realizing is that this person is really making plans to leave once and for all. They will be leaving, okay? At some point, they do sit in a room and they do think about things, and they've been building their financial wealth, and that's what's been keeping them here. And once they become evolved mentally, emotionally, where even though they could be an adult, obviously I'm speaking to adults, but comparative to you, they're very young, they've been immature, and they've definitely through, one issue or another, one battle or another, they've become more mature within, and you still see them as this young adult. And I feel that what you would need to do is, and I feel if this person moves on from you, for some Tauruses, not all, but I feel for some of you, if this person moves on from you, you will have some form of regret to some extent. Okay, you will start to realize what you had in that person. Doesn't make this person perfect, and I'm not saying that, this person doesn't come with some form of issue. Of course not. But I'm saying if you want to if you still want this relationship, you've got to take what they're saying seriously. And perhaps you need to do something completely different and get outside of a box of how you see them. Okay? Because I do see that this person has been contemplating, thinking, has gone through a state of depression, has prayed, has been waiting for signs to see, when do I make this move? When do I go? When do I strike? And you may find that in Cancer season, this person strikes and they leave and they call it quits. And you'll feel left out in the cold, because it will be impossible for this person to turn the other cheek and to come back again. It will feel impossible. So if you're asking, well, do I have a chance for this situation to kind of mitigate? Can you get them back? Can you get things back to the way that it was? It may be difficult at this point. It may be very difficult to get things back to the way that it was. This person may already have their mind set up that they're going to leave. It's just a matter of time before they actually leave. Okay. And it all has to do for them with their financial standing. They need to be at a certain place and have a certain level of security before they leave. But they've already kind of made up their mind that they're going to leave. When they come back around the second, I keep saying the second, but the last week of May, when they come back around, there will be offers coming to you. Offer of perhaps, let's go hang out, and then showing you some form of love. And, as soon as that happens, it's going to end, because the confusion is going to kick in for them. Okay. About, even, do I want this? Do I even want to, do I want to start this up again? And then is a lot of resentment toward you. A lot of resentment this person has toward you. They resent you in a big way. And even still, they love you. Make no mistake about it, Taurus. This person loves you, but they have been overwrought. And again, this is not to badger Tauruses. And I'm speaking to Taurus women, okay? And if you're a cross watcher and you're a woman, please do not take this offensive. This is not the only thing for all of you. This is a heavy, heavy, strong message for some of you. And again, I'm not saying that this person didn't do anything to put you in a position where you have gotten to this point of kind of having to control things and having to be very disciplined, because I do kind of see that. Even though you're nurturing, you're loving, and all those things to some extent, there is a form of discipline which veers on the side of overt control, right? There is love here. So it's going to be this on again, off again, on again, off again, until the person says, I have my money, my plan is executed, I'm gone. Okay? So I just asked what can be done, or I just focused on what can be done and for you. And I do see a resounding love. Now, going through your spread here, I don't necessarily see, I see you being very much a queen, a boss, in fact, not even a queen. When the person is coming at you and they're telling you da 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 da, you're looking at them like whatever, and you can kill that person with one sentence. They just feel inadequate around you. They feel like they're less than with you. The thing that is very eye-opening is that you're very much a couple. You mimic each other's energy. I do see 2 air signs at the same time, 2 fire energies at the same time. So you guys are soulmates. There is a soulmate energy here. Okay. And you're very much belong together, but it's so much built up resentment over time. And again, this could be the Taurus woman feeling this way about the man. You guys have to figure out who's the players in this story. But the story is very clear. And when it comes to someone who is leaving, it will be the male energy departing. And then you feeling to some extent, Taurus women, or the female energy, that you've been left out in the cold. Now, this may even be something that's already happening. Again, the last week of May, there will be a reconciliation. There will be a coming back together. Then feeling, as soon as the person is giving you some form of interest, they stop because they're confused. You may be asking, what in the heck is going on here? What's going on with you? Like, I thought, that sort of thing. And then coming back together again. Okay. Others of you, if you're single, I would say you have to, for Taurus men, I feel that you may be really focusing on work and what you need to do as far as your next steps in life. There's been some lies, there's been some deception that's been going back to people that you are not really 100% emotionally connected with. I do see some Taurus men or the male energies for the female Tauruses that are out there socializing. The male energy here, if you're single, shouldn't really be focusing on socializing because there's a bit of resentment from past relationships, okay? Or feeling taken advantage of. You may be paying child support, may have to settle some unsettled business when it comes to child support, when it comes to dealing with someone that's not out of their lives yet. Starting to overcome some form of control, stifleness, toxic situation that did not... that kind of, again, did a number on them. So they're overcoming that. And that usually isn't a healthy energy to kind of intertwine with. So be very careful if you're dealing with a Taurus male energy at this time. Female energies, if you are a Taurus, Taurus women, I feel like some of you are going to perhaps make the male energy in your life feel very inadequate if you're dating, that sort of thing. And they're not going to want a commitment. You probably don't want a commitment. You probably feel deep down that, hey, I'm not looking for something serious right now. And so you're doing things to sabotage situations because you kind of really want to just be on your own. Okay. And I feel like a lot of Taurus women, you're going to have to beat these men off with a stick the last week of May. You're going to be very, very alluring. But I feel like, again, some of you will feel as though love or interest in the opposite sex or getting into social relationships is not something that you're wanting at this time. Some of you are opposing it at this time. It doesn't mean that it's not going to come, because I feel once we go into June, we're getting into June, there will be someone that comes back in that will kind of change your mind, or someone that you meet that will change your mind. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, are you ready? Because whoever this person is they're going to be wanting love from you, some form of mutual love, and they'll want it consistently. Okay. You guys are typically consistent, but Uranus is in town, and that will make it a lot difficult for you guys. And so that's kind of what I have for you guys. Definitely. I think you guys have the longest love reading, but it just kind of got a little heavy here and kind of got deep. So couples, there's some things to contend with. Again, Uranus is here. If you're not in the process, or, you're in a situation where you could be getting a divorce, it's just like your husband or your mate is working really hard. They're trying to make some plans for your future. You're doing other things as well. And I feel that in the second week of May, you may find yourself kind of making up for lost time. You and your mate is what it looks like to me. Okay. But again, it won't be just smooth sailing, and it won't go off without a hitch. There will be like some, trying to get things off the ground, and then before you can completely get off the ground, something ends. There's some emotional confusion, and someone questioning, their intentions to some extent, and then coming together. Now, I do want to end with this. Some of you ladies are becoming a man's third party. Okay. And I just felt it. I felt it way before Uranus, like last year, I just said, Taurus women, which you typically, that doesn't mean all, but most Taurus women, a lot of Taurus women, you can count on them not being a third party, energy, because they stand for what's right. They stand for what's true, right? But Uranus is coming to town. And so that is going to get flipped upside down for some of you. And some of you will have someone coming back into your life, and this person has a family, they live with someone. It may be unstable, it may be unhappy, and yes, they have turned on that marriage or that commitment, and they are coming after you. They're coming for you, and they're going to be kind of relentless in wanting you back, wanting to get back in with you, and you'll say no, and you'll be emotionally confused because you do have feelings for this person, but it's like, I don't want to go down this road again. And it's going to be, again, why are you coming back to me? Why do you want to do this? And you guys are going to relent, and you're going to go into it. You're going to go into this relationship, okay? They may say that that's over, it's done. And you're not really sure to believe them or not. And you may question, you may probe, you may do some research and try to figure out it is over. And you may get a confirmation that, yeah, it's over. They are like not together anymore. He's moving out, he's leaving. And it's just a matter of time. And yeah, we're going to pursue this relationship. Do see that very strongly as well. And I see a lot of fire. I see all the elements here, basically. So I just don't see earth. So fire, water, or air is what I see here. Okay, so someone could be coming to you where they had you on the sidelines for quite some time. Now they're coming to you, and you guys are going to resume some form of a relationship here. So that's what I see for the remainder of May. I hope that this has been helpful for some of you guys. I know this one has been kind of long, but yeah, love can do that to you sometimes. So if some of you can relate to this energy, please leave it in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you would like something personal with me, I can reach in the beginning and end to this video. And if you are new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Taurus. Hi, Gemini. This is Just with your love May mid-month 2018 reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So, Gemini, it looks to me that some of you, now this is a lot of different stories here. Some of you got dumped or ended a relationship with a Scorpio. And I feel that you'll be trying to extend yourself to that person again. You may reach out to them again, is what it looks like to me. This person has already changed again, so they're not the same person that you've, like however they were feeling about you or however they saw the situation with you has changed, is what I mean. I don't mean like they are completely changed. They've just changed in the way that they're going to be dealing with you. So expect that if you're trying to, extend some form of an olive branch to a Scorpio. Now, it looks to me that some of you guys, looks like love for some of you has been quite successful, okay? If you're single, it looks like you have had a lot of opportunities. You may have been traveling or considering traveling with someone, getting offers to travel. It seems like you've been working really hard, and then you'll go out and you'll be very social and you're very successful at this time. If you're single, you may feel like life is just really good, but this is coming off of the hills for some of you that are single, off of a breakup or some form of a heartbreak. And it took you a while to get over this heartbreak, this loss, and it could have involved some form of an interference in this relationship. That doesn't always mean that it has something to do with three people, but it has something to do with some form of interference, okay? That could be anything. But there was a lot of work, hiding behind work for some of you, setting new goals for yourself that can kind of get your mind off of love. And because of you being so focused on this thing that took your mind away from what was not serving you, which is being hurt and feeling pain and reminiscing and things that didn't serve you, you've gained a whole new level of success. And, to boot, you are very magnifying it at this time. I feel like you can turn, water into wine. You really can turn water into wine at this time for some of you. Or you're meeting someone, or you've met someone who's doing that for you. Like they have everything that you need. They are just hitting every component that you could possibly ask for. And you're looking at this person like, wow, I think this is it. I think I'm about to be off the market. I think I'm going to take her off the market. I do feel like if those of you, like I said, if you've just gone through a loss of some sort or an end of a relationship, there's going to be possibly people from your past. So that person that you could have broken up with extending themselves to you. I feel like if that's the case, that you guys are the ones that have changed to a great extent, and you'll be treating that person completely different. And I feel like there's been some form of feeling like you've won. Some people say success is the best revenge. And you may have changed in some kind of way, like you may have done some type of surgery. You may have changed up your look and your hair. You may have done some physical changes with yourself, like came out of the blue, like, you know what, I'm going to get a haircut. I'm going to do this. So it could have been some form of change physically that's happened to you, and it changed the way everyone's kind of interacting with you. It could have been a move that you've made recently, and moving to a new place changes your energy as well. That could have been beneficial for you. But I do see having made some form of a change and standing up for, not becoming defeated in a situation, but taking responsibility for your own happiness, has proven to be, for a lot of you, quite successful. The last week of May, for those of you that are single, it looks as though you're going to feel as though, as far as like social sphere, you may feel completely out of sorts. This old person coming back into your life may shake you up a bit. You may not exactly know how to handle it. At first, them coming in, you may have had all the words, all the clarity. And then, as time goes on, this person could be throwing it on pretty heavy for you. Like, they're relentless. Like they're relentless to get you back, someone, right? And therefore or it could be you, relentless to get someone back. And as I mentioned coming into the beginning of this video, it doesn't have to be a Scorpio, but whomever this person is, they will be changing how they see you and how they interact with you. But it seems that you'll be relentless. And therefore, although I feel it's more so happening to you than you doing it. And you'll be the one feeling as though there's this sense of feeling stuck, not know how do you take it to the next level. What else, what other trick can you pull out your bag, or or you feeling stuck about how do you address the situation with someone wanting to come back into your life. Still working, still probably socializing, still going out and doing the things you normally would do. And then you'll come up with something clever. Hopefully it doesn't lead to a bunch of childish behavior, like this tit for tat, like I'm going to show you. I get like vindictiveness, because it looks like it probably could lead to that. You guys have gotten a sense of healing from the situation, and now this person is coming back in again. So it's kind of urging you to make some very clear-cut decisions about what you want. And if you're thinking of doing something that could be quite clever and vindictive, just know that we all have karma. Even if this person's done something completely wrong to you that could be justified, is always a higher road that you can take. Okay, so I'm just being, the devil's advocate here, because the challenge is for you to kind of overcome the devil. The devil's in your challenge position, and it's reversed, and that is the challenge. So it is some form of overcoming something that has you stuck, bound, or defined. Okay. And this isn't going to happen overnight. This challenge, it will be something that kind of goes on throughout, I feel, the summer months, at least until possibly you get into August. So just be careful with that, I would say, and be very honest if you can with the people that you are socializing with. If if you're socializing, then clearly you're not being completely committed to anyone, and perhaps you don't owe them anything. But it's better if you're dealing with someone that's come back into your life, or there's someone that's, putting on pretty thick, and like they're determined to have you amongst all the others that you have. Be honest with that person. I think that would just be the best thing than trying to come up with something clever. Now, others of you who are in a relationship, I'm going to go into a possible threesome situation. It looks like some of you, there's opportunity has come to you with someone possibly from a past situation. I feel like this person may be at a distance from you. There was some loss, some sadness behind this loss with this person, okay? And this person probably, when you wanted them, they didn't want you, or vice versa, that sort of thing. And that person was working really hard, okay? There's been like a change in circumstance, okay? One of you are now available. One of you want the other person back, and there's been some form of connection. And I feel that this person could have come out of the blue and come back into your life, or you could have them. But the situation is not that clear cut. Someone's still in a relationship and they're not out of it at this time. I do feel like someone is determined to be with you. Like they're determined, and there will be some form of a breakup. This could have already happened, so some of you could say yes, and you could confirm it in the comment section below if you choose. But there could be this they've moved out, but then they have to go to court. They have to, get an official divorce. They have to do all of these things before you guys can actually be together. But there's this it's not an interference, because if a person is had a relationship, technically you're the interference, but there's some form of having to take care of unfinished ties before there's a freedom to be together, okay, in this circumstance. Now, in the last week and there could have been a lot of fun times. Maybe the person came to see you recently. You guys spent some time together, and there's been this exchange of like true investments of a relationship on every level, like wanting to be together for the long haul, having that physical connection with each other, really have straight and strong intentions to be together. So this isn't something I feel like it's like a fly by night. It's that type of thing that you hear where people leave their significant others and, turn to each other, be with each other, and then they're married, they're together, they have children, that whole thing. It doesn't bode well with how they start, but it's something where it's like we couldn't help it. It was our time to be together, and this is it. We're together. So in the last week of May, I see that there's this feeling kind of possibly like you don't know if you want to continue with the situation. If this is the case, like this threesome situation, you don't know if you want to continue with it. Like I said, this other person is hell bent on things working. Like they're not going to accept anything else, because they probably think you're their soulmate. You guys are meant to be together. It's just this little hiccup along the road that is kind of, doesn't make everything so seamless, but they just need time to get on the other side of it. And I feel like, their determination will convince you to say, okay, I'm going to go along with this, and I'm going to we'll fight our way through this to get on the other side of the situation. Okay, fine. So that's that for that situation. Now, on the other side of it, for those of you who are in a relationship, you're not dealing with all of this stuff, this complicated things, and we've talked about the single life. It looks like some of you are possibly getting over a hurdle with your mate. Okay, it looks like some of you could be dealing with someone lost their job in your relationship. The other person kind of has to take the slack financially, which won't be a problem, because whoever is in the transition stage, the other person has more. They have what it takes to hold the fort down, if you will. There may have been some loss, in the situation of, someone losing their job. So having to deal with either you losing your job or some form of loss here. It could be a literal loss of a child for some of you. So my condolences if that's the case. But it looks like you guys are waiting on something. So you're waiting on some type of judgment. You're waiting on workers' compensation, unemployment, something that you're waiting for. And I feel you may have gotten good news about it. And then in the last week of May, there's going to be some of you could have lost your job and not telling your mate that you've lost your job. Some of you, there could be some form of a loss that has happened, or a judgment in court, or being audited, something like that, and you're not telling your mate. So I get that, like hiding things, trying to wait till you get another job. Just like, you're not going to really tell them that you've lost a job. You're just going to say, hey, I've gotten another job. Is what it looks like here. But I get very strongly the male energy. So it seems like female Geminis are doing okay, even though I feel for female Geminis in a relationship, you may be taking the heat for perhaps your male counterpart. It's something that you guys could have gotten yourselves into that's not very ethical. And you knew about it. Female Geminis, you knew about it. You may not have had all the involvement, but you were an accomplice, as they say. And now you're like, oh my goodness, I don't want any parts of this. And your mate may be saying, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. And now you feel like you have to kind of run away from the situation, or you have to find a way to save yourself. So I get that too. So some unscrupulous behavior could have happened. On a complete side note to couples that you may feel in the last week of May, how do I get out of this situation? I'm trying to, do it as best as I can. And you eventually will have to fight your way out of it. Some of you will literally have to relocate and run for the hills. And remember I said to you guys in your last video, be careful what you're doing, because you're going to do something with someone. It's going to be damn near impossible to get out of it. So, or it's going to be so, like, you're going to have to fight your way to get out of it. Well, here we are. Going into June, you will have to fight, leave, run away, abandon, escape something that you've gotten yourself into. I feel like it's an accomplice. It's not, you didn't do it alone. Someone was with you. And you're going to have to deal with that, So that's what I have for you guys. And I'm sorry to have to leave on such a stark note, but for others of you, it's just, day-to-day stuff that you're doing, good things happening, possibly with children, and some form of a loss is going on, but you guys will be fine. The last week of May will not be the happiest. You may feel a bit divided with your mate simply because they're working a lot, so you may feel like a bit divided. It may result in some form of an argument, but you guys are kind of be okay. It may be that case. So that's what I have for you guys for the remainder of May. I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has and you'd like to share with us, please do so in the comment section below. I definitely want to hear about these love scenarios here because they're quite different for Gemini. I never really go in depth with your storylines. You and Aries, you guys usually are I try to get in and out because again, I don't have flashing lights and, bubbles, and I don't have, I'm not hitting your every sense, right? All you're doing is listening to me. And so with that, that's just not enough for Gemini. So I have to get in and get out. You guys know how it is. So hopefully this has been helpful. Leave us a comment in the comment section below confirming or just letting me know how you feel about it. And if you would like something personal with me, I can be reached in the beginning and end to this video. And if you're new to this channel, welcome and subscribe because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Gemini. Hi, Cancer. This is Just with your May mid-month 2018 love reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So, Cancer, for some of you that's in a relationship, you may find that this particular month and going into April, possibly going into April, that you're in a very challenging situation in love for some of you. So now if you're a couple, it seems like just recently, possibly in the last 2 weeks, last 2 months, there's been a reconciliation or getting on the same page with you and your mate and overcoming, like you may have made a new pact with one another. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. Like the both of you are either going to cut out some form of toxic behavior that was no longer serving the both of you. And if that is the case, then some of you could quite frankly be muddling along with your lives. Like your mate works really hard. This is the male energy or the Cancer man, and the feminine Cancer, the feminine energy of the Cancer woman. You're being very practical. You're being very logical about the situation. But there's a situation where all that is not what it seems, okay? And you made these agreements, but it seems like, how it's like you clean the house and it's like, you try to make sure, if you have any rodents around, like, does that make sense? Who typically has rodents around, right? But, it's like just when you have company over, a bug comes crawling out of the closet or something. It's like, the cracks are starting to resurface, if you will, when you guys just recently patched everything up. And I feel that has a lot to do with someone that's just not wanting this relationship. I feel like they talked a good game. And even in that moment, they may have even believed their own words. But someone may be trying to disconnect from this relationship. And they're not just outwardly saying that, this situation is weighing heavily on me. I can't do this anymore. Okay. And I feel it's on both ends, though. I really don't feel like Cancer is just the one that's waiting out in the wing, or the feminine aspect here is not just the one waiting out in the wing and waiting to be loved. I feel the Cancer woman or feminine energy is wanting more. No, she deserves more, and you're giving this situation a time to see how long you're going to commit. All the while you're hatching a plan at the same time. Now, your mate may not necessarily be aware that you are planning to transition from this relationship. Like you've almost like already have made up your mind. And for some of you, it may come down to dollars and cents. It may come down to assets and things that you have and exactly how you're going to disperse of it. But there's a making up your mind. And I feel some of you may feel as though like you've changed and now you just want something different. And it's almost as if you can't even control yourself. Like you just can't stop from moving forward in a new way. Like you need to move forward in a new way. The last week of May, I do see that there's going to be some concern and worry. And that's for whoever's a person that has made up their mind that they've got to move on in a new way, start over without the other person. The person that's being left behind will feel very anxious, nervous, concerned because the person that's moving away from them has disconnected from them once again. And it's confusing because just not too long ago, there was this renewal of a commitment of starting over again, even though I think realistically it wasn't 100% believable, but it was just an in the moment situation, which didn't even last to the end of the month. And by the end of the month, I do see that there is going to be some disconnect, which will create anxiety, stress, and worry, perhaps assuming or feeling as though someone is moving on in a new direction. Now, at the same time, how the situation can also work is that some of you may be coming full circle in a situation, okay? There could just be that your mate works really hard. The challenge is to put the focus on the relationship because your mate or the other person has very lofty ideas and goals. And their goals could take them out of the home, away from their, reality of your circumstance. And therefore, it's this situation where someone that may not be very honest about, still not honest about, if it's not that they don't want to necessarily leave the relationship, they're not being honest about where their business is taking them, where their own goals and aspirations are taking them. Like you may be the last to know that, oh, I didn't know that you was, wanted to, start a business in a whole nother country, in a whole nother state. Like it's that type of thing. Like someone's making a whole lot of changes and they've not informed the other person. And I feel that there's going to be some worry around that as well, the end of the month. But whoever needs to move on and to move into this new space, it's like you've got to let them. You got to let them. Someone's going to block themselves from you completely. Energy is going to be blocked from you. That's what a lot of signs are experiencing now. Pretty much all signs are experiencing blockages to not go back to something, to not continue with something because they've got to go forward in a new way. And so I kind of see this as being the same. And for a lot of you, it will be Cancers actually moving forward. Now, you may move forward from one relationship that the person thought you guys were going to be serious. And you're like, well, no, we were just getting to know each other. No, in fact, I'm going to move on. So I see a lot of hands changing from one thing to the other. The challenge is going to be for you to really decide which way you want to go. There will be, and because of it, because you're not being very honest or they're not, someone's not being very honest about their steps forward. They're not being very honest about commitment to an extent. There will, in fact, be lies and deceit surrounding around that very thing. But the reality here is that someone's going to fight for the commitment, fight for a new beginning in a way that creates a valid investment. And if that is happening, by the second week of May, there may be some reciprocity coming from the other person that was not as open to the reunion or, trying to work things out. So someone may, become friendly and say, yeah, we can move forward. But I feel like it's funny because it's like, I'm looking and seeing here because it very well can be, how it is. It's like they give all that they can. They've been patient. They've sat back. They've waited. They evaluated the situation. They've put their time in. They put some effort in. They set intentions toward the person. They didn't see an investment on their return, and now they're going to move on. And as soon as they move on, the person that took them for granted, now they want their best to get back in, and it'll almost be like an impossibility simply because I feel as soon as they try to move forward, the person will at first act as though they want it, and then they'll become cold or distant, or the other person will say no. So it could be where the tables turn. Once we get into June, you guys will know who you are. Once we get into June, someone may say, okay, I'm ready now, and offer their cup, but then the other person is jaded. They don't want the cup anymore. And now they're going to say, well, no, in fact, I don't want this anymore. This isn't going to work for me. I don't want to go down this road with you. And they'll be on their road to healing. Okay. For some of you, intimacy is the reason why this relationship keeps going back and forth and back and forth, or it has stayed held on as long as it has, because there is a very strong intimate connection. And I feel like if it's not an actual air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra that you're dealing with, and I'm getting more male energy. If it is a female, she's very dominating. Okay. So if it's not an air sign that you're dealing with, it'll be whomever this person is. I get, again, male energy, will be taking on a emotionless approach toward the situation. Okay. It's almost like someone knows what to do to kind of push you away, or you'll know what to do to push someone away, is what it looks like to me. Now, if you're single, I see that there is a situation where some of you may want something concrete. Cancer men, you're not really, like, it's just a burden to you. You may be carrying around an old relationships or an old relationship that you still have a lot of baggage. So you're still you're still holding on to someone else, and it's very difficult for you to move on, Cancer men. Cancer women, and I feel like Cancer, going back to Cancer men, there could be a lot of lies, deceit, and anything that becomes a little too involved, because it'll bring back those feelings of that last relationship, and you will feel as though you don't want to take the risk. So you may do the fight or flight situation. So if anyone's cross watching and they can relate to a Cancer male fleeing or being emotionally disconnected to kind of sabotage a situation, it has a lot to do with a past relationship that they've yet to let go. Cancer women, some of you are ready to move forward. I get Cancer women are more likely to move forward. If it's something that you want in a particular relationship, you may find that you can use your feminine ways to reactivate, if you will, a relationship. But I feel regardless, there's someone that is hell bent on moving forward. And I get just fundamentally, it's this on again, off again, on again, off again energy. Like the tables turn throughout this relationship. 1 minute, one person is chasing the other. The next minute, the other person is chasing. You guys never are chasing each other all at the same time, unless it has to do with the intimacy. Okay. So this will be one of those bumpy ride months for you guys. Everyone's kind of standing their ground. Everyone is some people are evaluating, looking, trying to find out what's going on. I think I covered singles. Oh, I guess I didn't. I would be mindful for air signs. Air signs are having some emotional issues, baggage. Fire signs have a lot of baggage right now. And they are challenged with being able to move forward in a situation. They may be preoccupied and already have a relationship and unable to get out of them. Water signs such as yourself looks really good. They're getting over their demons. They're getting over bondage. And they've gotten out of circumstances. So water signs such as yourself looks really good. Air signs you need to be very careful about. Tauruses are really good too. I feel like Tauruses will be very healthy for you guys if you have a Taurus here. And I'm not speaking for everyone that has a Taurus to say, well, my Taurus. But I'm just saying collectively, if you're single, Tauruses look good and water signs look good. Earth signs look, I would say earth signs and water signs look really, really good for you guys if you're single. Air signs and fire signs, steer away from. Air signs have baggage. They're emotionally unavailable and they're very worried about a situation that they're still stuck with. And fire signs are in a complicated situation. Okay. So they're unable as well to move forward in the situation and even be able to give the work and effort toward a relationship with you simply because they're not available. So that's what I have for you guys for the remainder of May as far as love is concerned. If you'd like to share with us how this has been familiar to you or you would like to respond, please do so in the comment section below. Love to hear from you. And if you would like something personal from me, I can be reached in the description box below and the end and beginning to this video. And if you are new to this channel, welcome and subscribe because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Cancer. Hi Virgo, this is Just with your May mid-month 2018 love reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. Did that just sound like me? Didn't sound like me. So guys, I need someone to confirm this for me if this relates to you, and only if you like to. If you feel comfortable enough, please do so in the comment section below. You're also welcome to email me if you like to have some form of privacy. But I see very clearly that someone's taking one for the team. Okay, someone's taking one for the team, and I feel like someone is putting down their what do you call it? Black book? Yeah, someone's putting their black book down. This is one way that I'm going to interpret this reading, and I feel like it really has to do with just individuals that can confirm this. So please do so if you can, specifically this storyline. I do see in the past some of you that can relate to this was trying to find a way or have found a way to kind of either move away from a situation, move closer to someone. I just see a lot of sneaking, trickery, some lying, deceit, and you came up with the best way to kind of have your cake and eat it too, is what it looks like to me to some extent when I see these two cards together. It's nothing nice. And this is the first way I'm going to interpret it, you guys. So just hold on. For those of you saying that didn't happen to me, it was hold on. I feel like the ones that are taking it for the team, you have been taking time to evaluate your next move. And you have taken on one situation after another, after another, after another. You have a long-term goal, okay? One thing in particular, it will be one thing, one person at the end of this race. At the end of this whole process is going to be one. But there is other things that you have to do, right? And it may not even have anything to do with other people, like interference, like threesomes, that sort of thing, foursome, fivesomes. It could just be you and your goals and your aspirations. So now if it's that, I feel some of you could have conquered to some extent whatever the situation is. You were trying to do it all at once. You could have been trying to have 3 women, and I get male Virgo energy very strongly. So you could have tried to have 3 different women. Or I have one in one state, have one in another place, have one at a distance, have one close to me, that sort of thing. And you felt like, oh, it's all working out. But it became a lot to deal with, right? Because people are demanding. When people feelings become involved, people want what they want when they want it. And in today's time, they want it faster than but you can give it to them. So I feel like some of you have took time and said, this is weighing down on me. This is too much for me to handle. And you've decided to some extent to relinquish that of your lower vibrational energy, right? So some of you are going away from something that was toxic that I feel to some extent you created, okay? You were keeping your options open, and boy, did your options become heavy and a lot to handle. So it looks like some of you are shedding that. And I do see that there could be a reunion of sorts, reconciliation of sorts with a particular person. This could be family. I get family, or coming back with family, reuniting with family. Okay. And that's what's going on now. So again, like I said, taking one for the team. You may feel like you're taking one for the team because I get for a lot of Virgos, or for some Virgos at least, you have this feeling like you feel better when you're just by yourself. I'm not speaking to Virgos who are really happy with their family life and they're set, but you have other Virgos that's yearning, desiring to kind of bust out and bust loose, okay? And they're really wanting to kind of start all over again and just be alone so that they can do all the things that they need to do and then have fun on the side and all of those things without feeling guilt, without feeling pressure. But right now I do see that you're taking one for the team. And when we get to the last week of May, you may feel like you have had to cut your emotions off for a particular person. Now, this to me did look like it was more than a threesome. It could have been 3 people, you and 2 other people, but other people involved too. It could have been social media people, like flirting and that sort of thing. It was a lot of things going on, but there could have been two people specific that was pretty much taking a lot of your time up. Well, the last week of May, I do see that you're going to kind of mourn the loss of one and turn your emotions off for one so that you can focus on this family life is what I get, or this particular person. Okay, because you may feel like this is the person that I'm going to have a family with and I'm going to, have a long lasting situation with. So I might as well, I always get like might as well. I get that might as well start it now. You guys may be feeling like it's a bit premature, like there's a lot more dating you could be doing. There's a lot more just other things you could be doing. But some of you are going to concede and start the process now. Others of you, it may not happen until we get into Leo season. And then around your birthday time, you may say, okay, I'm off the market. I'm going to choose this person and this is what I'm going to do. Some of you will be going back to someone, like you'll meet someone from your past. Some of you may be going back to family or people that you have children with. And there's going to be a cutting off. Now, if you're cutting someone off, they may be going through the motions, or you could be going through the motions and then cutting your feelings off. Again, I feel it very strong for male energy. It's like that sometimes, ladies. The men take over the spread, and for this particular reading, the male energy in your life, or the male Virgos, are taking over the spread. So male energy is not just Virgo men. Some of you may see that this is the case for the Virgo man in your life, or the man in your life if you're a Virgo woman. If there's been this threesome, foursome, tensome, like a lot of interference, I do see someone being able to kind of dial it down a little bit. But the second week of May, it's almost like, you know how that feeling where it's like a person is choosing to do this, like they know, like I have to do this. It's a taking one for the team. That's the best way I could say it. You're taking one for the team. You're laying down on a sword to save other people. There's a form of sacrifice, and no, there's not the hangman is not here, but there's a sense of having to shut your feelings off after mourning something. And if it's not you, then you've left someone behind with their feeling sad, and you have to get to this state because the relationship between you and that person is very toxic. And so you're like, okay, I've tried once again. For some of you, it could be like, I've tried once again for the sake of the family, for the sake of this union between the two of us. I've tried, but it's not, again, you're not giving me what I want. Again, I'm not satisfied. And there will be yet again a disappointment and then someone cutting off their emotions. So it can work that way too. Taking one for the team at first, but then the last week of May, there's this sense of like, it's like a timer. This person doesn't know that they're on a timer. Because you know how you entered into the situation. Virgos, you guys are like that. You make all kind of plans and booby traps and all kind of stuff for people. you guys, you know how you are. And every video now, I'm giving little bits and pieces about, nuggets about Virgos. I know them so well, but so some of you are doing it because it's almost like that this person, you're going to sift this person out, and that this isn't probably going to last long. And it's like, okay, you think you're going to get what you want, but I'm eventually going to cut you off again, is what I see. The challenge, however, is going to be for some of you to kind of see the true possibility in a relationship. Now, some of that could have a lot to do with the fact that you really just want to be single. You really want to mingle. You really want someone else. You really want your cake and eat it too. You don't necessarily want to get rid of either person because together they both kind of bring a wholeness. They fulfill all your senses. Is that sort of thing. So it's a tricky situation for some of you Virgos, and some of you have to play nice. Like you may have a relationship where it's like, no, I have to do this. We have a business together. We have family together. There's something where it's like you have to cut one off to focus on another. And you'll know because you'll be dying inside being away from that one person that you really want to be with. So if that's the case, then you guys know. I mean, I understand you might be thinking that you're, taking on a more mature aspect here, but Inevitably someone is going to be hurt the last week of May, whether it be you or another person. Now that's that storyline. Now, some of you, you're definitely cutting off an air sign. So Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone who's very crafty, someone who, who's like a wordsmith, who's very crafty and play a lot of mind games. This person could have, turned his back on you, or could have been waiting for opportunities to come his way. But I feel like this person is more manipulating, more of a liar, a con artist, hides behind work. Like, you have these people that's like, oh, I have to work this shift. I mean, do you ever get up? Do you ever sleep? I mean, everything is work with you. And for some people, they really are. They're working a lot because some people are really focused on their success, and that's all they can think about. So there's this situation of work. And some of you are feeling as though you have to disconnect from an air sign. Okay. The funny part is that Virgo ladies, I literally do not see you guys in this spread. I don't. I see you as someone that perhaps is trying to balance yourself. You may be patiently waiting for someone to get their act together, or the feminine aspect, Virgo men, the woman in your life, or the feminine aspect is waiting for you to get your act together. She's probably hopeful that at a particular point, which will be in, what is this? Is this Taurus season? Yeah, sometime in Taurus season or Virgo season, things will you guys will kind of get back together and work things out. So some of you may be working things out, but remember what I said about the end of the month, things can change drastically. So the woman is being very hopeful. She's being very patient about the situation. And I feel that Virgo's ladies, I'm still trying to find you here. You're like disappearing in all of this. You have to be careful if you're single, Virgo ladies, because you may be caught up in threesomes, tensomes, like someone that's just like juggling a bunch of people. Okay. And not saying anything about it. At the very least, still attached to another person. It could be for financial reasons. It could just be because they've built up and they put so much time and energy into a particular relationship, and it's very hard for them to completely disconnect and to start anew. Okay. And this could be a Taurus, could be a fixed sign. So male Taurus, that sort of thing, or Aquarius is what I get, a fixed sign energy. Or Leo is what I get. Someone with fixed energy where it's hard for them to disconnect and just to let something go and move on. So you may find yourself caught up in a threesome situation. So be very careful with that. Virgo single ladies, Virgo single men, I feel that you're kind of running the gamut. You're all over the place. You're still very much attached to someone from your past. You may have had children with them. You really want to get back with those people again, and you will be going through the motions. It would be better for you to just tell people that you're not ready for anything serious. It may be very difficult for you to engage, like even get out there and socialize, or you may find it very difficult to ward off people. Like a lot of people want to date you. A lot of women want to kind of hang out with you, and you're just not in it. You're just like, I can't, that sort of thing. So I do see going through the motions for some of you. And Virgo ladies, be careful if you're single. I would take everyone with a grain of salt, because you may be very excited about meeting someone and feel like, wow, this is kind of cool. Wow, I can't believe this. And then later the person just turns and totally cold. Whoever you guys are dealing with now, some of you, and it's a very like tongue-in-cheek, we've just met, or it's very new, fresh, or non-committal. You may find out, or you may realize or see by the second week of May, that person has cut you off and you didn't even know. I mean, they cut you off and you didn't even know. And it can have something to do with their family. It can have something to do with someone from their past. But I do get like someone literally cutting someone off by the end of the month. And yeah, where a person thought everything was great, then it's like, again, I just keep getting by the end of the month, someone completely disconnects, they check out, and they cut you off. So I hope that I can remember to remember this tagline of being taking one for the team. Now, what else? I feel like for some Virgo ladies out there, your time is coming. Again, I feel like for some of you, it will be more in the realm of your birthday time. So Virgo season, you guys know your birthday season, which is late August into September. So you around Virgo season is when you may find a real connection with someone, or you be able to move forward with this individual if they're coming back into your life. Because someone may be coming back into your life around Cancer season, and then by your birthday season, it kind of really starts to take off, and you guys are starting to move forward in a relationship. So that's what I have for you guys for the remainder of May. This is about to get unnecessarily long. Yeah, someone's on the fence. Someone's not able to make a decision. Someone will be turning hot and then cold. Be careful out there, you single Virgos. And yeah, that's what I have for you guys. So if you would like to share with us, don't forget to share with me. For those of you in the beginning part of this description, the storyline, if you can relate to that, please let me know in the comment section below. You can email me, but I really want to hear about that one. If you would like something personal with me, I can be reached in the beginning and into this video. And if you are new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Virgo. Hi, Libra. This is Just with your May 10th to the 31st, 2018 love reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So, Libra. One thing is for certain is that some of you guys are not going to find success with a particular person, your delivery, and I've said this in the general, and it's coming back again, and I've actually pulled a different spread. So it's mimicking the same message, is that your delivery is definitely not going to boat well with another person. If you're being combative, if I feel like some of you are fighting for someone, you are like hell bent on trying to, get the attention of someone, and they're focused on complete success. They're focused on success. They have their eye on a whole different prize. And I don't care how you slice it, how you do, what you look, they're not making you their focus. Okay? That's just how it is. And for some of you that can relate to this, and I feel some of you have tried in many different ways. And for some of you, you've been kind of trying to, you've tried to strong arm your way into someone's life, or you feel like this person, you deserve their attention. They owe you, is what I'm getting. Like some of you, if you feel like someone financially owes you, I don't see you getting your money. Not right now, you know. And if you feel like someone's done you wrong and, you know, they deserve to give you some form of closure, that's not going to be successful either. Okay. What you can do, though, is make sure that you are disconnecting from anything that doesn't serve you, as far as you have to realize that perhaps this relationship for some of you is coming to an end, and that it's going to be for your greater good. You may not see that now because, again, you guys are all about justice, but it will be for your greater good. I do see that there has been a situation where you may have wanted to take a relationship to the next level and a person ended it. Someone ended a relationship. It could be you guys that have ended a relationship, or you freed yourself. Some of you could have freed yourself from a situation that you felt was stifling, was limited. You freed yourself from that. And I do see some form of healing. Okay. Now this is a pretty interesting reading because it's kind of all over the place. I do see that there's some healing going on here for Libra women. They're trying to heal themselves. You have an opportunity to heal yourself. And I feel like this relationship is not, you guys aren't bound to each other anymore. Okay. Meaning you're both overcoming whatever toxic, energies that were going on in this relationship. It's kind of dissipating. Okay. It's almost as if you guys have had closure individually. There's been closure. There's closure that's going on as we speak. It may have been some issues where there's been some conflict, someone addressing a person feels like, hey, I'm moving in a direction that you're not coming along for the ride. And they may have not actually said that to you, and you just need to hear them say that, okay? I feel like this person may be still on the fence as to what they want to do, okay? And I feel like you may feel to some extent, one minute they're like being very open to you, and then you may feel like they're closed off, is what it looks like, okay? Someone may have, like you may have extending an olive branch to someone. Okay. At first you would find with it being over, but it looks like you have second thoughts. You want a situation to heal. You're being very hopeful with a relationship with a particular person. This person is very grounded. They're very practical. They're very successful, or they're on their way to being extremely successful. And so they stand in their own right, right? And you are too. I mean, quiet as it's kept, you do well for yourself as well. And you may not have all that they have, but quietly you do. You know, you're doing well for yourself too, and you can continue to do well for yourself. Okay. But I do see where at first you felt like it was okay to break up, or I'm going to be done with this situation because it's limiting me. Now you want to work on the situation, and you've extended an olive branch to this person, or vice versa. It could be either person. I do feel like some of you are feeling deep down inside that you may have to, a sacrifice is going to be made in this relationship, and you may have to contend with the fact that, hey, I'm going to be single, although I really just want to work this out. Okay. There may be some infidelity here. I feel like a situation in a marriage or a committed relationship has created some form of a distance because of another person. Someone could have, started reaching out to another person at a distance that they can't necessarily get to. And you guys could have been confronting them like, where are you going? What are you doing? That sort of thing, right? And so now if there's another person that's coming to the mix and created a barrier between the two of you, you're having to contend with the fact that, do I, leave? I think I'm going to have to settle with the fact that, and sacrifice this relationship with the hangman, and take on a different perspective, understanding that, life for me will be possibly one of singlehood. I do feel like if you do come to the understanding that you're going to be single, I don't feel like you'll be single for long. Like you won't be single forever. Okay. Now going back to this situation with this particular person, because the energy is very much about this person. Like you think of this person, Libra women, you think of this person, or the feminine energy in this relationship. They think about this man, and then it's all about you, how you feel. Are you okay? Well, you are okay. You do have financial standing. You are grounded. You also have options. You've created some form of wealth or some form of financial stability for yourself, where you don't necessarily need this person financially, right? But there's a sense of wanting. You feel like as though you're their soulmate, okay? Or you're better together than you are apart. Although right now I do see some form of distance, and feeling as though this person is leaving their options open is what it looks like to me. Okay. And fighting for this relationship. You keep like trying to circumvent this person trying to do something. It's like you can smell a rat, and it's like, oh, let me get that dirty rat before it comes all through the house. Like you're trying to stay on top of avoiding or trying to mitigate a possible third party situation. Okay. The third week, the last week of May, I see that you're going to start to feel hopeless with this situation. Money is an issue. You guys have money, but I feel like the last week of May, the money aspect is not really about money. It's about building together. I don't feel like the two of you're not coming together to build anything. You're not. You're two independent people who do wealth on your own. Who at the same time, you feel like I've built my wealth. I've worked really hard. He feel like he's built his wealth. He's worked really hard. And there's a separate energy when it comes to, and usually when you come together as one, you share money in kind, you working together. If you have your own businesses, you kind of intertwine businesses, you work together. There's a togetherness, but I do see that for the two of you, there's a separateness completely. And the last week of May, you guys will feel like there's no building, okay? You will feel very conflicted, Libra women, and the man in your life, or the Libra man, will feel very emotionally confused, okay? He has a lot of options out there, a lot of options. And you can't continue to fight off every option that comes his way. It has to be up to him whether or not he's going to choose you and stay committed, or he's going to be let loose to entertain all the options that are out there. Okay. And I do see that very clearly. Okay. However, the second week of May, you guys know what I mean. The last week of May, I do this all the time. The last week of May, I feel that his confusion is going to turn into wanting to move forward, but then there being a block. And then there's going to be a move forward for him. It could be travel, like he's planning a big travel. Okay. He may be someone that has international fame, or he does business overseas, and he will be going overseas is what it looks like to me. Okay. And I feel as though upon his return, he may want to start to balance out the relationship or put a little bit more energy into the relationship once he comes back from his trip. Once he comes back from his trip, I feel like he'll be really focusing a lot more on wrapping up some things as far as work is concerned. And then he'll start to be a little bit more emotionally available for you. Okay. But this is a situation where the two of you are just existing together. Two people who are existing. And I don't see where there is, like, you love him and he does love you, but his focus is not on love at all. His focus is not on love. And even if you are approaching other people, it's for ego. It's not for love. Okay. He's focused on his money, and he's focusing on, I feel, an enormous amount of success. Now, some of you saying he's broke, he doesn't have any money. Well, that part is not for you. He may be someone that at one point he was a very committed person. Okay. And now he is venturing into wanting to do things that's going to satisfy his own personal desires, especially if he works hard. It doesn't matter that he doesn't make much money with the work that he has, but he works really hard. And now he feels like, well, I deserve to play. I deserve to go out. I deserve to do other things than just to be home and adhere to the schedule and that sort of thing. Okay. So I feel like a lot of Libra women are changing. And throughout this month of May, there's going to be a lot of contending with yourself. You have financial stability. A lot of you do. Or you may be lending yourself to a mother that's very supportive of you, and she helps out quite a bit. Okay. And that allows you to be able to continue to flourish and nurture your dreams and go after the things that you want, because your dreams are coming true. Your dreams can come true. You are holding on to this relationship by any means necessary. You don't have to, because there's nothing kind of holding you guys there. There's blockages when you try to come together with one another. There's just innate energies that are blocking you guys. Because this person, the male energy, has to do something else. There's something else that needs to take place. Okay. And keep in mind that this male energy for now in the month of May is going to be very slow in their steps toward you. They're not going to jump in anything with you. They're not going to say, okay, I love you. I love you. Let's do this, or start showering you with love and affection. They're going to temper their steps, because this last week of May, they're going to feel very much as if this situation does not have legs. It is not going to grow. We're not going anywhere with it. I do feel like you'll fight to the bitter end. He'll be confused. He'll try to make some form of an amendment. But I feel like, how a person, I forget what the word is. They're just being nice to you because they know that they're getting ready to leave. They're getting ready to do something else. They're going to have to go away from you. They're not leaving for good, but I do see a trip or having to take some space from you to focus on some other things. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys. Oh, others of you, because I know I spoke very heavily on this particular aspect, but for those of you that's single, I feel that you may be, focusing on someone from your past. You're helping this person kind of regain their financial standing. And this goes out to some of you who are dealing with someone that doesn't have money. You may be the person that is helping them build themselves back up financially, okay? Because you have it. Not only do you have the finances so you can kind of pay the bills and take care of things, but you also have a new opportunity. You and this person may become partners of some kind. And right now he's doing a lot of the footwork, the foot traffic to get things done. You may be the person connecting with other people. Or nurturing the business to some extent, and he's doing the footwork of getting the things that the business need, and you're at home administering or nurturing the business to some extent. And so you may be partnering together, and I do feel like coming together in some form of partnership could be beneficial for the two of you. Although I do see separate energies. You're handling the business separately. Like you both have separate jobs. I don't see you like together 24/7 in partnership. But I do see that if you're single and you're helping someone out from your past, they've come back, that sort of situation, you may find that this situation is pointless by the time you get to the second or the last week of May. And conflict is going to come, and you may feel like this person is just never going to be able to get better. They don't want to be better. They just want to be conflicted over the situation. They may feel like, well, if I continue this with you, does that mean that I now have to be in a relationship with you? That type of thing. And I feel like this person may be, if again, you're single and you're helping someone out, I feel like this person may be blocking themselves to some extent as far as the help that you're giving them. Be very confused about exactly if they want to go in partnership with you. They want you to help them, that sort of thing. And eventually they'll accept your help. Others of you, there's clearly this stepping out situation. There's another woman here coming in. And by the second week, if there's some, triangle situations, another person here that's really messing up this relationship, and this person could keep going back to someone, you'll find that in the last week of May that this person isn't going to change. This person is hopelessly, punch drunk for this other person. Okay. And it's just this thing where it's like, sometimes it could be someone from their past. It could be someone that they just long for, and they just long for this person. And they just really feel like if I was with this person, that life would just be so much better for me. Okay. And so they're going to continue to be confused, but they may take a break from you, and they may leave for a while so that they can engage with this other person. Okay. So they can spend time with this person, and they may be gone a whole week, or a whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. A week, a little over a week, maybe gone a little bit over a week, so that again, that they can spend time with this person, be with this person. And then when they get back, they'll just say, hey, I have 2 women in my life until I decide, which one I'm going to focus on investing all of my time with. Okay. So there's that as well. So, then there's a decision that you have to make, because I feel like this person, whoever this other person is, they're at a distance. So it's very difficult. It's not like you can just catch them. You may have felt like when they were constantly going out of town or before, like, where are you going? What are you doing? But now it's almost like you've conceded, like, well, he leaves and I don't know where he's at, but I mean, he says he's going here, so that's where he's going. And this person may successfully be able to just, carry on with 2 different relationships for maybe up to 6 months, okay, or all through June. It's like this person is having this 2 threesome relationship going on. So that's what I have for you guys for the remainder of May. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you would like to share how it has been, please leave your comments in the comment section below. Love to hear from you. And if you like something personal with me, I can be reached in the beginning and end of this video. And if you are new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Libra. Hi, Scorpio. This is Just with your May 10th to 31st, 2018 love reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So, Scorpio, some of you this month, I see that there is a challenge of someone feeling as though should they invest any more in this relationship, period. There was a decision that was made in the past of whether or not they go or they stay. Okay. And although I'm getting very strongly male energy, I will say for Scorpios at this particular time, it could be either of you. Some of you may feel that way, or it can be the male energy, but I get more strongly it's coming from a male energy where they have, possibly prayed and asked to seek guidance and clarity about should they stay or should they go. And this has to do with a family situation, or you guys are in a relationship that money is involved. Like you've together, there may not be any children, but it's like together you've created a business, right? So it's not just whatever it is, it's not just the two of you. It's bigger than the two of you, right? And so that's why there's been this very deep, heavy decision that needs to be made. And I feel like someone is making some plans perhaps in a different direction, or have started making some plans. They've not made a decision to say, okay, I'm leaving. They may have decided that they're going to leave, but they haven't left yet. And I do see that the challenge for them is they're not getting their return on their investment. Okay. They may have been feeling this way since, for the last 6 months, that, what, I'm just not getting my return on my investment. And the challenge is for you to be heard. Like you may be talking to them, and it could be you, it could be them. But the challenge, I'll just say for you, if it's not for you, then, just know in your head that it's them that's doing this. And you may be the one that's saying, I'm not getting a return on my investment, but I'll just leave it as you and them. And I see for them would be the male energy or Scorpio men, and for you would be the Scorpio woman or the female energy. Now for you, you may feel your challenge is to not be seen as someone who is combative, argumentative, heartless, cold-hearted. That's your challenge. This person kind of sees you as that. Like you're just, difficult, right? And that's your challenge, is to not be seen that way. I see that currently some of you are really wanting this situation to work out. You want this person to kind of come out of the shadows of being in a coma, because I do feel like someone kind of distanced themselves and became very alienated toward the other, and someone, because they've been luring them. And I'm not saying that it's like manipulation, but the person has been trying to get this person to understand that I still care about you. I still want this relationship. Kind of, you've gotten this person to kind of start talking again, but you feel as though there's no fresh start. There's no new start in the situation, even when you've been making some advances towards the person, some offers toward them. You feel like it's not been received in the way that you want it to. And I feel because you're not getting the start that you want, you may feel as though you're continuing to try to show this person that you're ready to bring your end of the bargain to the table. And because you're doing that, where at first it may not have been received well, you will find in May that it is starting to be received well, particularly in the last 3 weeks. So from probably now until the end of the month, the person will start to talk more to you. They'll be more talkative. They'll be more willing to kind of receive whatever you're giving them. And I feel like you'll see that there's some form of, again, this person being a little bit more receptive. Now, there is this, and because of that, you may find that the two of you become more loving toward each other, like, just nice and kind to each other, that sort of thing. Like the energy will match. Okay. Finally, you'll start feeling like this person is not only are they talking to you, but they may be saying nice things to you. You both can say nice things to one another, and it kind of goes off really nicely in that way. And once we get to the end of May, the last week of May, your attempts, I feel, would have paid off. And I feel this person will start to be more receptive to you. Okay. And then there'll be like some form of a reconciliation or coming together. So if you really want this relationship, then keep doing what you're doing. Okay. This person, it's kind of, that's what they wanted. I don't even see now I have to say this. There has been another person involved in this relationship. I gotta say, it has been. Another person came into the relationship. Now, I'm gonna read this two different ways, guys, because I see it very clearly two different ways. The first way is this person, your counterpart, the male energy, because that's what I see, but it could be either way. So, obviously do what you need to do. But this person that has been less than honest, has cheated, has stepped out. I feel like if there was a third party, for some of them, they will be, I'm gonna say three ways. They will be still engaging with this third party. Okay. Yeah, they will still be engaging with this third party. They will. Okay. They may just have taken a break from the third party to come back and kind of deal with the situation with you. But I do see that they'll still engage with a third party. All right. Other ways that this can manifest is that this person is, you want something very concrete and solid. And this person is saying that they may want the same things, but they're not. And if you pay attention to the words that they're saying, it's not adding up to what you're saying. So they're saying something different. It may sound a bit clever where it's like you could take it either way, or they may double talk. Like they'll say, no, I don't want this. No, it's not going to work. Even though I want it, but it's not going to work. Well, that's double-minded and that's double talk. And that means that the person is lying. And they're not being truly honest. So they're just basically saving face to try to keep something going. And that's manipulation. So this person could be manipulating you because you want to really invest in this. And they're already kind of engaged, I feel, with another person. So you may be the person that's an outside person, not even knowing that this person is married, that they live with someone, there's someone else. And then you're going to find out, though. You'll find out that there's another person or you're the other person. So that's what I see there. Okay. Now there's another situation going on. And I feel that this last week of May, again, there's still going to be this reconciliation that's going to come about. Okay. Now, what can't be changed here in this situation is that this person kind of keeps you at bay or keeps themselves at bay so that they can kind of, live their best life, have their cake and eat it too, do all the things that they want to do. So if you're in this gray period with someone, like they're on the fence, they don't know what shit they do. They just don't know what to do with this relationship. They could be leaving their options. I see somebody is keeping their options open. They really are. They're keeping their options open. But again, they'll feel as though they are, you will feel as though they only want you, but they're keeping their options open. Okay. And there could be 3 women, you and 2 other women that, are in their life. And they're not really, to be honest, they're not really focused on either of you. They spend time when they need to spend time, when they want to spend time, because this is someone that's about their money. They are about their bottom line, and they're very self-focused. Okay. And if anyone doesn't work for them, it's on to the next person. Okay. Now, when I said earlier a minute ago of, if you want this person, then continue to do what you're doing. Because I feel that for some of you, if that's what you want, then you'll get it. If you're saying that I want to work on my relationship and I want to keep it, then that's what you're going to get what you want by the end of the month. You're going to get this person if you want them. You're going to reconcile with this person if you want. But regardless to what, there's going to be a limit to how much of them you get. And you're going to have to tolerate some things in order to have this person in your life. So then the next question would be, well, how much of your life do you have to tolerate this person? Because I feel like it'll be one thing after another thing after another thing. And there'll be these peaks and valleys of good times and good moments. And then you'll go back to these energies of having to prove yourself and so it seems like it'll be like a never ending situation where the relationship seems extremely one-sided to me. And if that's the case, then there is someone who 100% feels as though, that's the way to keep their options open. That's the way to keep everything flowing, because they don't completely get into a groove. Welcome to Uranus in your 7th house, right? Even mates that you've had for very long times are starting to change on you. Unfortunately, it happens to be in your 7th house, and this is kind of the fallout from that. So ladies, if this is what you want, a relationship with that man, you'll have it. You guys will work things out. By the end of the month, you'll reconcile. Things will be good. You'll feel like, okay, I've manifested what I want. Excuse me. And I got my guy, or, everything is kind of working out. I would say the message here for Scorpios is don't be conflicted. Don't, you need to make a decision right here, right now. Okay. And if you're the other woman, then clearly you're going to be just basically dealing with a part-time energy of this man, and, however long that lasts for you, then, that is what it is if you decide to go down that road. And then eventually we'll start to see the Justice card, and it'll be karma and all of that other stuff. But if this is your relationship, you have to make a real decision. Do you want this person? Okay. But at the same time, you've got to do what I was going to advise Sagittarius to do. You've got to, if you are putting the time and the energy, listen to me clearly now. If you're putting the time and the energy into trying to get this person back, trying to work on this relationship, you've got to put in 3 times the more energy to yourself. You've got to think like a Virgo. Virgos are extremely good at making sure that they've got to put themselves first. They put themselves first before a baby. Like, they are going to put themselves first because they understand self-preservation. They've got to preserve themselves so that they can be good for anything. So you've got to put yourself first. What I like to see, what I'm liking about this whole thing is that I don't see the end of the month turning into crap for Scorpios. I mean, there goes Jupiter, right? But I don't see it turning into crap for you. It turns around for you, and you do get a form of success. But again, you've got to prepare yourself for anything, because I just get this other person, they're not 100% all in. Yes, they like the attention you've been giving them. And yes, they are becoming receptive to it. And I do feel like there's like this slow move forward to kind of reconciling. But it seems like at any point it could change. Okay? That this person will sacrifice this relationship and they will leave. And let's keep in mind that there is another person, if not 2 other people. There are other options that this person has. So I get that you've got to make sure that you're not sacrificing yourself for another person, because this person will very quickly sacrifice you. So put a lot of energy and effort into building yourself, into focusing on your own brand, into what you want to do next, into what you need to do next. And give it all you got if this is who you want. Give it all you got, because when it's time to say goodbye and end it, you've done what's right. You've been true to yourself. You didn't pull the trigger immaturely or prematurely and leave, and then now you're having regrets. You gave it all you had, and it didn't work out, and now you can move on forward, having still have value within yourself, because you balanced out. You were able to still keep your wits about yourself and still continue to build up your own self-worth and value. And that's how I feel that you can kind of mitigate this situation 100%, I feel. Yes. And so I said that, with this, and I got a clarifier, focusing on if you stick to, and I feel like this Queen of Pentacles could be you, wanting a commitment, ready to really commit, settle down and say, hey, why are we playing this game? Let's really do this. If this isn't your person, and it just very well may not be, you will have what you want. A real relationship will come to you. It may come within time, and it has a lot to do with this Uranus transit in Taurus. But something will come to you. It may come after you leave or someone leaves a situation. But stick to your commitment to yourself. Don't match this person's energy with trying to cheat and step outside the relationship. If you truly want to work on this thing, give it all you got, as I said, and just also stay very practical and grounded, and make sure that you are putting money away if you live together, that you are getting your own ducks in a row. And I feel that for some of you, it can turn into a committed relationship. Others of you, others of you, it can turn into a committed relationship. It's going to take work, but you can manifest that, in this situation. And it's not going to be the easiest relationship to be in. Others of you, if you walk away from the situation, I want to see what this is going to be. You walk away from this situation, you may find that there's a lot of opportunity out there. But again, I feel you'll go through the process. If you just up and leave the situation right now, you may feel like you're waiting because you're just not ready. Even though there's people out there, you're just going to wait, and then you're going to be carrying around a burden. So you may have to see this thing out all the way. Okay, to get to the very end of it, because it just doesn't seem that you're ready 100% to move on, to leave the situation. It doesn't look like this person is leaving either at this time. There will be, I feel, a moving forward in some sort from someone. I get more strongly the male energy. And some people say, well, why would I sit around and wait for a person to just up and leave me? That's the whole point of the advice of getting your own ducks in a row and making sure that you, and making sure that you are intentionally building yourself up and doing all the things you need to do for yourself and make yourself happy. And it doesn't have to be this person. Literally, the tables can turn and you say, okay, I've given you everything. I've given you all that I got. And I'm not fulfilled. I don't see where I'm now getting my investment, my return in my investment. And so I'm going to leave. I do feel like, Scorpio women, for the most part, you're going to be okay. Definitely. I even seen it in the first spread I did in the general, but I wasn't focusing on love. And the message in the general was, if you have to let someone go, you've got to let them go. Be okay with letting them go when it's the time to let them go. Okay? Because you'll find, for some of you, once you let that person go, you're going to shoot up. You are going to really shoot up. So, that's why, and I go back and I'll leave you guys with this. You have the longest love reading, but hey, Scorpio, right? And I'll leave you with this, and I'll say that the reason why I say that you may need to see this all the way through is simply because if you pull the trigger prematurely, you will stagnate the move forward, because it's going to take you a little while. If you just jump out now and say, okay, I'm just jumping out, you haven't fully completed this situation. It's completing, it's coming to an end, but it hasn't just yet. Okay. And so you want to give all that it is if you still want this. And then when you get to a point where the tables have turned, then it'll be your decision to make. And by then, when you do leave, if you choose to leave, you'll be completely have fulfilled that world card, and you can evolve to the next level because you won't have any regrets. You would have given everything that you can. You would have done everything that you can, and you can move forward. So that's what I have for you guys for the remainder of May. I hope this makes sense. I know it kind of got a little down. I don't know. My words kind of started to get a little slow. So sorry if it started to drag on and on and on. That's what I have for you guys. I hope this has been helpful. If you'd like to share with us how this has been, please leave a comment in the comment section below. We'd love to hear from you. And if you would like something with me, I can be reached in the beginning and into this video. And if you are new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Scorpio. Hi, Capricorn. This is Just with your May mid-month 2018 love reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So, Capricorn, I don't know who this is going to relate to. If you like to confirm for me, please do so in the comment section below, and you're also welcome to email me if you would like to remain private. But someone is sending someone to do their dirty work. That makes any sense. Like a relationship has broken up. You're on the verge of a divorce, or you're going through the divorce proceedings. It's getting real ugly because the children are involved. You guys cannot seem to communicate. Family have gotten involved. Outside people is in it. It's a mess. This is an absolute mess. It's involving 3 people. Someone could have gotten caught. It could have been a work situation that's, got really messy from a work affair. And a baby could have come out of it. Or children, like I said, are involved. Or it could be like, if it's not, okay, let me stick to one thing at a time. But if it's not that, I'll just say really quickly before I forget, it can be where you're not allowed to converse or have a romantic affair at work. Like, some jobs are like, you can't be together at work. You can't fraternize at work. And so that could be their policy, but you guys have fallen in love. Like someone has fallen in love, but something is intervening. So your job could be like, no. You're 2 managers. You can't fraternize with one another. That person is your subordinate. You can't fraternize, or they're your superior. You can't fraternize, but something like not being able to fraternize. And then you guys, being the Capricorns that you are, you're fighting it. Some of you may be fighting that. Some of you may be, waiting to hear the verdict of like, okay, well, this person wants to transfer. I want to transfer. Like, you guys are going to try to make this thing work. For some of you, that has something to do with that. Now, for a work affair, some form of affair that's taken place, and it's gotten messy about children, you may be trying to send your attorney. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. You may have tried to send your attorney, you tried to send a mediator. Some of you may be trying to send someone that knows you and the other person to try to say, come on, let's try to, work on this outside the courts. Let's not get the courts involved. Let's not get the cops involved. Let's not get, the authorities, because the authorities is all up and through here. So let's not get the authorities involved. Listen, I'll relax. I'll calm down. I'll leave you alone. I'll give you the money that you need. Let's figure this out outside of the court system. Also, a judgment may have come in. And, let me see now. Ooh, child. And now you're trying to come up with a way, because you may have to pay a lot. And you're like, what? I can't give you $1,000 a month. I can't give you $3,000. I can't give you $300 a week. Like, there's like a certain amount of money that you're saying, I can give you $10. I can give you $100 a month. Like, you want to give us, a tiny fraction compared to what you may have to pay, or what the judgment says that you would have to pay. So I see Capricorns doing a whole lot of backtracking in this situation. If it's a litigation on the way, trying to backtrack, trying to save this situation all by yourself. You won't have any power in this. You're pretty clever, but you don't have the power that you think you do. Not in this situation. And someone may be hell-bent on, especially if you're dealing with a Capricorn. Oh, child. I'm laughing because North Node is going into Cancer. And it's in Cancer. I think it's just gone in. And South Node is now in Capricorn. So if you don't know anything about South Node, guys, go and check out South Node versus North Node. So South Node takes away and North Node gives. And it's both dramatic energies, right? And it's funny because I see the Chariot, right? Cancer. That's the Cancer card. Moving forward, unabashed, they're not thinking twice, they're out of there, right? Then I see the 8 of Pentacles. So some of you're familiar with these cards in a Rider-Waite deck. Just to give you, because someone's like, what deck is it? It's that one. And the 8 of Pentacles is here, slightly on top of the Chariot, toward the bottom of the Chariot. but it's reversed. So if that's, to me, that's why I'm laughing, because obviously the Eight of Pentacles would be the Capricorn. The Devil card is here reversed as well, so that is the direct representation of Capricorn. So either way you cut it, it literally is indicative of North Node, South Node. So there's going to be a loss here for Capricorn. Someone isn't going to be so kind-hearted. They're not going to turn the other cheek. They want what they want, and they're leaving, and that's it. Now, some of you may feel as though this last week of May, it's going to turn around for you. You may feel, it's one or two things. This person is going to have full success, and you'll be trying to still fight, trying to go to court. I feel like it's going to be you guys trying to go to court, trying to appeal, trying to, get an extension. Like, you're going to try your best, but I just feel like you've tried everything. You've tried to, let's work this out. Okay, I love you. That didn't work. Then you tried the whole, let's keep the cards out of it. I'll give you this. I'll give it to you. That didn't work. You tried to send someone you knew. That didn't work. And especially if someone's pregnant. And I feel like you probably will result to, like, I want a paternity test. You're going to try everything. Capricorn men. Ladies, you may feel like this is a disaster. Like, you met this guy and now it's like, oh, your worst nightmare. But so there's that. Okay. Now for others of you, if you are single, I feel that, your single life is just off the charts. You have so many people, it's not even funny, but there is a specific connection that you're making with a particular person. Now, there may be some karmic energy that needs to clear. Someone may have some residual karma that they're dealing with, and they have to settle some things that the person that you're dealing with. You may be there may be conflict because they have children. So someone has children here and they're going through their, karma with that, and you're, having to deal with that as well. But if you're dealing with somebody, you're saying, yeah, they're going through all of this stuff and I'm kind of like the outside person, you'll find that the last week of May, that things start to really die down and start to work out again, and you guys are able to start moving forward. Others of you may be about to take a test, of some sort. If you're going to take a test with your mate, like your mate is taking a test, you may be taking a test, you're going to pass. So congratulations for those of you who are going to be taking tests. And so the singles, I'd say that you're getting over some heartbreak, some pain. You are moving on. You don't want to work on something with someone. Someone could be coming back into your life, wanting to work on things. That's not going to work. You will be moving forward, and you will find success alone. So just saying I'm single and you'll be better off right now being single. There is some karma that's going to come back to you. You may not be feeling it right now. For those of you who's recently gotten out of a situation, if you've done anything wrong to someone, you will be paying for it possibly in the month of August is when your karma will be coming back to you. If not, it'll be in October. But karma is going to come back to you, Scorpio. I mean, it could be coming from a Scorpio. Even though I don't have the death card here, but karma will be coming back to you, Capricorn. Okay. And I know you guys are like, what kind of reading is this? It's true. We all have our karma and it comes at a specific time. For some of you, it will be at those times if you've done something wrong. Because I see Capricorns have done something wrong to someone. And some of you may see again in June that this person is good. This person is fine. Like, they're happy, they're successful, like they're great. And you're like, what in that? No, no, you don't get a right to be this happy. You're not with me. So some of you broken up with or broken up with you, someone is going to about face and try to come back. They really will try to come back. But when you do, you won't have that same control or power over that person. Okay. There's a lot of pain, hurt, and karma attached to this breakup. Now, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing here, guys. I want to wrap this up. It's getting into 10 minutes. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I can see here. If you're just having a regular life, right, and all of that is not happening, then I feel that some of you, again, could be separating from a job with your mate. It could be a lot of chaos around. Where do we take the kids? What do we do with the kids? Difference of opinions about kids. Again, does the kids live with you this summer? Does the kids go with me? Kids may be the cause of conflict for some reason, and having to, like, who goes where? Your mate may want to take a trip and do some things without you and the kids, or you may need to go take care of some stuff. So there may be some issues around that, but I feel like someone will come up with just the right idea of how to mitigate all of that. And some of you may skip out on family and work to go and vacation. Like you may be telling your mate, oh, I have to travel because I have to go to such for work. And it's like, you're not even going to work. You're not going to work. Challenge here is going to be, I feel, doing things in a traditional sort of way with your family, with your children. You guys may start doing things a little bit different with the kids, right? One kid goes to one place, the other goes to another. One kid goes to this grandparents, the other person goes with another. Like just something different with how you guys normally would do things with the children. And I feel like obviously it has a lot to do with Taurus and Uranus and your fifth house of children, love, creativity. I do see a lot of creativity. You guys keep getting the Magician in every spread I've pulled. So a lot of being able to come up with just the right ideas, being able to manifest the things that you want, being able to make it work, but it's not going to work as well as you thought it used to work, because before you had all the power. Now you don't have as much power. Read up on that South Node, guys, and very karmic relationships will be coming to you as well. I see a lot of karma here. And I see Six of Cups. So there's going to be, and I see the Sun card. So there's going to be, some of you are going to, within this year, get people pregnant that you didn't, it wasn't planned, but pregnancies will be coming up. Divorces are going to be happening. Losses of some sort will be happening. Having kids and happy about it. Reuniting with people that you never thought that you would before. Success coming to you in ways that you never thought before. So highs and lows, goods and bads, but it'll all be very karmic energy that's going to be happening for you guys. So that's what I have for you guys for the remainder of May. Doesn't seem like it's a remainder, right? Seems like it's been like a 3-month spread or something. But yeah, very powerful energies here for Capricorn. And how could it not be? You guys have Pluto, South Node. I wanted to say Mars in your sign, but there you go. So that's what you guys have for May. If you'd like to share with us how this has been helpful, please do so in the comment section below. We love to hear from you. If you would like something personal with me, I can be reached in the beginning and into this video. And if you're new to this channel, welcome and subscribe, because I will be back very soon with another one. Take care, Capricorn.